So yes, it is actually the end of January. It's the last day of January, so it's not technically spring, but by the time this video comes out, we'll be around the corner, springtime. We all can't wait, all right? We're coming out of low season, and it feels like Madeira is really getting in this like high and low season again. You know, the low season was a lot quieter than last year and the year before, that post-COVID bang kind of thing. But I think this summer, the spring and summer is looking good. We're getting loads of bookings, so it's gonna be pretty busy. And in today's video, instead of me trying to explain to you what the weather is like in the springtime, I wanted to give you a couple of tips, you know, so that you can navigate your way around. If you want to see more about that, we did a video, you know, so today I want to do something a little bit different, and so I can show you how we navigate through the Madeiran weather, specifically in the springtime. But if you're in Santana, you have to come to Delicias de Beer. It's my favorite little place, and what they do here is this bollard bideling. But is it bideling or bideling? I don't know how you actually really say it. I just say it fast and hope that no one actually says, what, bollard what? Okay, bollard bideling. They do a house specialty here. It's got a white cream. So usually it's like it's an egg. Usually it's an egg custard cream kind of thing. But here they do it. The house specialty is a white cream, and I love it. And then they've got the Philadelphia one. This one.
That's the creme de la creme.
This has got the Philadelphia cheese inside. I'm glad that Veronica chose that today, so I don't have to eat all of it for the vlog, because I'm already killing my diet. So today I'm gonna have to go for a run after the hike.
Are you in the diet?
I'm trying, man. It's January. It's the January diet.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. And then we'll get out of here, and then I promise that I'm gonna help you guys with the Madeiran weather. Okay? So first coffee, then you know, then we get to work. Okay? Yeah. What tea, perhaps. Number one, first tip of the day is to be appropriately dressed, all right? So I always recommend layers, right? Layers on top of layers, so you can be, you know, taking them on, putting them off. In the springtime, we have different weather in Madeira in different places, right? I don't know, this is all very obvious for all of you guys who are usually on this channel, but we have loads of microclimates here in Madeira. So you can be in one place and it can be really hot, and you can be in somewhere else, it can be really cold, especially if you're going up into the mountains. Usually I recommend closed pants for when you're adventuring. If you're going on a tour with us, usually I say long pants, closed shoes. Today we're going hiking, and I don't particularly like hiking with pants, so I'm going out with the shorts. It's a little bit cold, but I'm okay. We got hiking boots, but ideally, if you're going hiking, then this is what you should be looking like. All right, you got all your stuff here, you know, you got everything. Bring your sunscreen, bring your water. You got beanies, you got, what else have you got? So you got a whistle, the temperature gauge. This says 19, I think it's lying. It feels more like maybe 15 up here. But yeah, don't forget your water, don't forget your sunscreen. Make sure you've got hiking boots. All right, if you're going hiking, don't come up here in slip-slops, flip-flops, whatever, sandals, barefoot, right? You ought to be properly prepared, okay? So that's the number one, bring the right clothing. We speak about this in loads of videos on this channel, so you can find that. And there's also a blog link in the description below that gets into specifics about temperatures and all that kind of stuff that I've written that makes a lot more sense than what I'm saying right now, okay? I'm trying to make it quick and easy for you guys. Layers, correct clothing. If you're going to sunrises and sunsets, it gets a lot colder, especially if you go up into the mountains, 1,800 meters up, Pico do Arieiro, Pico Ruivo, these kinds of places, all right? First tip, dress appropriately. We've got more tips to go. So the reason we're coming out here today is because I thought it was relevant. We haven't been here for a while, but I thought it was relevant because one of the most popular hiking trails at the moment is closed. So remember, this is the 31st of January that we're filming this. By the time this comes out, it could still be closed. So I wanted to kind of try and help with these things. So if you wanted to get to Pico Goivo, the highest peak on the island, then this is the only way, or at least the easiest way to get here. There are one or two other ways, and we're going to figure that out on the way up to the top. But the hike from Pico do Arieiro to Pico Goivo is closed because of a rock slide or a landslide. And whenever the hiking trails are closed, then you have to please accept this and not do those trails, because it's not safe, one. Two, if anything happens to you, it's your problem, all right? They are now charging people to do rescues in the mountains and things like that, because so many people are getting rescued, right? Because they're doing things that they shouldn't be doing. And yeah, you know, it puts a burden on our emergency services, and it's also not easy. Trust me, you don't want to be rescued in the mountains, because there's no helicopters, you know, there's none of that kind of stuff. If something happens to you in the mountains, you're getting stretchered out. So if you're 4 hours away, 5 hours away, and whatever, you know, and you got some kind of injury, God forbid it doesn't happen, but if you've got some kind of injury, you have to deal with it for 4 or 5 hours. And if they have to get to you, right, it's still gonna take a couple hours just to get to you and then to take you out. So safety is number one, always in Madeira. Always respect the mountain, watch your step. Don't be doing something that you shouldn't be doing. But it's looking pretty cool. And what I wanted to say here was that I actually enjoy it. I really enjoy it when there's a little bit of clouds and a little bit of weather, because it makes it a little bit more adventurous. So let's climb up a little bit, and then we're gonna get into our second tip of the day on how to deal with the weather in the springtime. Number two, consult the correct sources of information. All right, the reason why we're doing this trek today, this small hike, short hike, is because the one from Pico do Arieiro is closed. So I thought it was relevant, like I said before. And how do we know this? If you go onto the website, I'm going to tell you now a couple of the websites that I use so you guys can know how to do this. But if you go to the IFCN website, it's the Forest Rangers website. I'll put the link down below. So here we go, screen recording. Today we can see here that PR 1.2, which is what we are, Vereda do Pico Goivo, is in fact open. So this is in Portuguese. You can change it to English on the website. It shows you all the hikes that are open, and then if you go to the ones that are closed, here it says encerrados. It is still in fact Vereda do Arieiro, Pico do Arieiro, Pico Goivo is closed, as well as Lavada do Barreiro, which I don't even know where that is. I don't think I've done that one. Lavada de Alecrim, which is an unfortunate one because it's one of my favorites. Lavada do Moinho because of the fires. Vereda de Ribeira da Janela has been closed for a while. Lavada Fajado Rodrigues is quite dangerous as well. Caminho Real do Paul do Mar, Vereda do Jardim do Mar, I believe those have been closed for a while, and Lavada da Zenha, I don't know which Lavada that is, to be honest. If it's closed, it's closed. If you get to a hike and there's red tape, don't like cross the red tape and just go. And if some communities online, you know, there's all sorts of communities online and everybody's an expert now online, but if you find any kind of communities that say, oh, it's open and it's some small little thing or whatever, then make sure if you do that hike and it's officially closed, if something happens to you, it's your problem. Let's go. Yeah, don't be running around. I mean, anyway, yeah, you know, hey, I'm not gonna. This is the next one. It's usually the first one of Portalnet Madeira, and on the webcams, this is what I use as a guide every day. I open up the webcams and I can see what each part of the island looks like. And in today, you can see pretty well that in Câmara de Lobos, in Funchal, it's kind of like badish weather, whereas on the north, it's a little bit better. So that's why we're here. And in Pico do Arieiro, you can see it looks pretty crazy, all these clouds. So that's why I also decided that this would be a good time to be here. If you want to go up for a sunset or something and you see at Pico do Arieiro, if it's open, all right, then you can go there and you can, you know, unless it closes. But you can tell that it's good for a sunset. The sunrise is a little bit more difficult. The other website that I like to use when it comes to the peaks, Pico Ruivo, Pico do Arieiro and Bica da Cana, I use the mountainforecast.com website. That's all about mountain weather all over. And here you can see, you know, if it's cloudy, if it's rainy, you can see the temperatures, you can see if there's going to be rain and how much rain, you know, the wind, right? It can be very windy and cold, of course. And there's the wind chill factor. So you can see down here, for instance, 8 degrees Celsius, but with the wind chill, it's 2 degrees Celsius. Remember, this is January, so it's technically still winter, but in the springtime, you could get this kind of weather as well. And again, it could be wrong, all right? Don't always trust the weather in Madeira. I know the weather is crazy. We're trying to help you with the weather, but nobody can help you because nobody knows what's going on. The last one that I like to use, which is a little bit more technical, is the app called Windy or windy.com. And you've got all sorts of functions on windy.com, but you can see the rain, for instance, and I did check last night. There is some rain happening just west of the island. We can see right now over there, but the rest isn't quite happening, and it is on the west, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock. We should be done by then. So yeah, and you can check all sorts of other things on this app. You can check the wind, you can check the clouds, you can check the rain, you can check all of that kind of stuff. That's what I use. So that's the apps that I use, the official information. Also, Visit Madeira is also a great source of information. But if you want to know about closed hikes, IFCN, it's updated very regularly. So if it's closed on IFCN, then it is officially closed, okay? Whew! All right, that's a lot, that's a mouthful. Less talking, less blabbing. Let's show you some more of this beautiful place. Yeah, so we've got mic problems, so we're using the phone. But this looks pretty awesome. It's all green and lush. This is Laudi Silva at its finest on the north coast of the island. This is what Madeira would have looked like if you came here hundreds of years ago before the Portuguese are here. But absolutely stunning. I love this walk. It's short and sweet. It's nice and easy. It's nice to do during the day. It's nice to do at sunset, like I said. If you're coming for sunrise, I usually say it's better to do Pico do Arieiro because it's closer to Funchal. Because just to drive here takes about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on what car you're driving and how fast you're driving. And then to walk this path up to Pico Ruivo, which we can just about see there, it's another like hour. So if you're going to do sunrise, I wouldn't recommend Pico Ruivo, but rather Pico do Arieiro. It's really pretty. We carry on walking a little bit. We can see São Jorge down there. We were looking up at Santana, looking down at Santana earlier. You can see a bit of Pool de Serra. Really nice, really pretty. Let's carry on. Alright, I didn't really think about the color scheme, yeah. You know, am I camouflaging into the environment? Yeah, I am, eh? Number 3, to help you guys on your Madeira journey. Number 3 is to have a good plan B. So imagine you're now doing the peak to peak hike. It's opened up and everything's perfect. You've checked on the relevant sources, and then you get there and there's bad weather and it's, you know, clouded up and you can't do anything. Then you need to do a plan B. So usually when there's bad weather, for me, my plan Bs are to stick around the coastline, because very rarely are the coastlines kind of, you know, so clouded that you can't see anything kind of thing. You can still get amazing views all around the coastline. So if you go up into the mountains and the weather's bad, you want to go down and go to the coastlines. If it's raining absolutely everywhere, imagine there's a red alert and it's raining everywhere in Madeira. This is very, very rare, especially for the springtime. But we can get storms, you know, like we did last year. We got Oscar and I don't know who else. But if you do get a storm and it's raining absolutely everywhere, then you can do museums and you can do, you know, wineries and all these kinds of things. So having a good plan B is essential. If you're going to do the hikes and things like that and you think, okay, cool, like I want to do this hike, I want to do that hike, and you get there and it's raining and it's you know, dodgy or whatever, then have a good plan B. The south side of the island is usually a little bit better in terms of weather as well. So if it's bad on the north, then you can always go to the south. And look, we're practicing plan Bs today because our microphone something's gone wrong with the microphone. So we're using the iPhone, but you know, some good plan Bs at PopSec Studios as well. So yeah, we got Pico Huivo is right behind us, and we got the shelter home over there. So we're almost there on today's plan B, because plan A was actually to do a Levada, but I thought that this was more relevant because it's happening now because the hike is closed. So today's plan B, we're out here and I'm very glad. We got the tower peak next to us. Look at this. Pico dos Torres. It's the second highest peak in Madeira, and then just behind that is Pico do Arieiro with the radar, the little ball, the big ball of golf, as Hugo calls it. The tower peak, second highest peak. That peak you cannot visit walking, but you can do climbing, and that's also seems to be a very fun experience that hopefully one day I'll be able to do once my shoulder is really 100%. It's doing very well, by the way. So yeah. Anyway, enough blabbering. Let's go. Number 4 is a pretty, it should be quite obvious, but don't assume that the weather is bad just when you look outside, all right? It's a very common mistake. People look at weather forecasts and like even in the forecast online, you look in 2 weeks and you just see all this rain. It can change. Don't make plans a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks ahead because of what you saw the weather forecast being online. Because as I've showed you earlier, there can be different forecasts for different regions, and depending where you look, you're going to get a different forecast. You know, in Funchal, it can be 21 degrees, 23 degrees during the day, and up in Pico do Arieiro can be 4-5 degrees. So quite a big difference, right? So don't assume that it's bad. Also, if you're at your hotel room and you're like, oh my God, like I don't want to go out exploring today, because you look outside in Funchal and it's cloudy and rough and you think it must be like that, the weather's bad. Don't assume it, right? The best thing you can do when the weather is bad is to get out and to explore, unless there's some kind of a warning. Usually an orange or a red alert warning is, you know, the worst. And by the way, all the tour companies, when it's red alert warnings, nobody usually goes out. Of course, there's 1 or 2 cowboys out there, but usually if it's red alert, all tours stop. It's a little bit worrying and a little bit unfortunate for us to see people crossing, you know, these paths when, even though, you know, somebody just broke off the tape that was blocking the path to Pico do Arieiro. And yeah, it's people that have to do what they have to do. They have to see everything. They have to do everything. They came here to do this kind of thing. It's like, it's not worth risking your life, all right, just to get the shot, just to do that bucket list thing. You can always come back and there's something else you can do. We've just made it up to the house. That's the shelter house over there. And probably on the way back down, we're going to stop off for a coffee or hot chocolate or something to warm up before we leave. But from here up to Pico Huivo, it's a 300-meter kind of ascent or 400-meter ascent. Remember, guys, we put videos out every Tuesday. So like and subscribe to the channel if you want to know more Madeira tips, travel and lifestyle, everything Madeira related. We got loads of great stuff coming for you guys. So stay tuned. right, so we just came up from the top. Absolutely beautiful. It wasn't as windy as we thought it would be, but now the wind has definitely come around. So we got some paunches to warm up. Unfortunately, there was no hot chocolate, so we got some paunches. And yeah, this is about it. The fifth and final tip that I have for you, and this is where I get to sell my fish, because yes, we are a tour company. Before we were a YouTube channel, helping all of you guys, right? We were a tour company, and we are still, world's best tour company. So almost everything you see on this channel, we can do for you. All you need to do is check out hittheroadmadeira.com, and you can use the promo code Hugo for President for any of the tours listed there. Of course, if you're looking for anything different, then just send us an email. More than happy to help. And of course, if you don't want to go with us, you can go with somebody else. Going on a tour is a fantastic thing. For some reason, I see a lot of stuff online of people saying, oh, you should rent a car and do your own thing and I don't know what. And I'm like, that's fine. You can go ahead and do that, but do at least one tour. All right. The amount of information that you get from a local guide is priceless. All right. And then also, if you don't feel like doing all your research, like having your plan B, guessing about the weather, planning the routes, all of that stuff, it's even making me tired. If you don't want to go through all of that hassle and you want to get the best experience in Madeira, remember, vacation time is precious. If you want to get those real memories, then go ahead, book your tour, book early, because the summer sells out and we're starting to go into high season. So yeah, that's it. We're gonna have our paunches warm up and our sandwich. Remember, if you don't want to pay mountain lodge prices for your sandwiches, then bring sandwiches. I don't blame them. These kids have to bring everything up here on their backs. All right. So that's what you're paying for when you pay here. But the paunch is great. So it's time to warm up. And yeah, kids, don't try this at home, kind of thing. Andre?
Let's hit the road.
Let's hit the road.
Ching ching, guys.
Ching ching. Yes. To you guys as well.
We're looking for the face. Kind of. I mean,
it was more like blue steel, eh?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's a good
Cool.
Cut. It's a wrap.
Bye bye.
Ciao.
one. Bye.